Wake up, Albany!
I'm Beth Conkey.
And I'm Kevin Turner.
I'm Lindsay Kelly.
And today is March 2nd, actually. New month.
It's hard to believe we're in March already.
I know.
It's intense.
That's crazy.
Short month, February.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Women's History Month, so, take full advantage. Find out all the women's history that you know. You guys get the longest month. 31. Black History gets 28 days. That's great. We're going to start off today with the weather. It's going to be a high of 20 degrees with a very frigid low of 7 degrees, which I think we already had the 7 degrees this morning because it was just about that temperature.
Yeah, it seemed like -7 degrees.
It was
walking
horrible outside. I was like walking into school. It takes about 10 minutes from the parking lot. Freezing.
Yeah, I had to walk
Make sure
my
you
mom too.
bundle up today.
Yeah.
And sometimes February has 29 days.
If you want to get technical.
Okay.
So what's first up, Lindsay? What did you have?
First off, we have some local news, which how we usually start. Schenectady Police Department in trouble again. So far this year, they've had, aside from this issue, which I'll be speaking about, they've had 4 other problems just this year, so it's not looking too good for Schenectady Police Department. So this time, a patrolman by the name of Michael Brown, he's 27 years old, has been charged with DWI and leaving the scene of the accident. On Sunday night, he was off duty in Colony. He was driving his pickup truck and rear-ended a car at a red light, which then caused that car to rear-end the car in front of them. And this happened on Route 9 in Colony. He then tried to flee the scene, and they caught him going down Route 375 towards Manans. He had a passenger in the car, and now in his mugshots he has like this big gash on his head. He must have done something when he hit the car. So currently he's suspended for 30 days without pay, and they're waiting for, further punishment along with his pending charges. They think he'll probably be terminated though because they're trying to make the Schenectady Police Department a little better. I mean, 5 problems so far this year. It hasn't even been, it's in the 3rd month now.
This is just the second one we've talked about.
Yeah.
But I hear about them, like if I'm just reading, my Yahoo News before I get my email. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
These authority figures, there has to be something in the water.
Yeah.
And
it's
like,
it's
do it
in
their own.
Schenectady. It's interesting how it's, this one police department has been having so many problems.
Yeah, it seems like the Schenectady Police Department is the most corrupt in like the Tri-County area because you never really hear about like the Albany Police Department.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of times driving up here or even coming to school, I see like troopers speeding. And,
Right. I've seen them before.
Sometimes I think about that. Like the authorities, they just feel
they
like they're so
they
free.
abuse their power.
Yeah,
I've seen them.
sometimes.
They'll put their lights on behind you, and then they'll just go around you just to get like out of the busy
Yeah.
traffic, and then pull into like Price Chopper or something. Whoa, emergency! I need milk.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, you don't know. Like it's hard to trust really anyone.
Yeah. You gotta remember at the end of the day, they might be authority figures, that might be their title, but they're humans at the end of the day. So you never know what they might do. Or
Yeah, they might need a drink or two.
yeah, take the edge off. Just don't do it on duty. 'Cause I mean, I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, definitely. Well, do you know if any of the arrested been anything off duty? On duty?
On duty, I'm not sure. I mean, there was the last one we talked about was that whole like drug scandal. So
That was definitely off duty,
off
but
duty.
he was still an authority figure.
You know what? There was one. I don't remember his name. He was leaving his vehicle unattended while on duty. That was
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
for long periods of time.
Well, that's super responsible.
Yeah.
In other local news, I'm sure you guys realized yesterday the weather wasn't too fabulous, and unfortunately there was a car crash. It happened on Route 155 in Albany, and it's very sad. A 69-year-old woman, who the names haven't been released yet, but she actually perished in the crash. She hit a large delivery truck. Apparently she stopped and skidded into the back of one, but she was going at high rates of speed. And the driver of the delivery truck is in the hospital, but he's expected to be okay and come out of it pretty clean. But like I said, it's really unfortunate the woman did perish in the crash. So we just keep her family and her friends in our prayers. It's always it's really sad when stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
But it always makes you think, even if you're in a rush to get somewhere, you know, your life is way more important than getting there on time, especially when the weather is bad. People won't understand. So please, you know, if there's going to be bad weather in the next few days, just drive carefully because it's very important that you're safe. So,
Did it say what she was driving?
I saw pictures on the internet when I saw this story. It was a smaller car, like a sedan, but this delivery truck was pretty big. And
that's
the impact just
horrible when something's
crushed.
so big, and especially when you're driving a small car.
Yeah.
And I heard yesterday that Joe Bruno got in an accident. I guess him and the person that, I don't know if he hit them or what really happened, but they weren't injured. They went to the hospital just to be checked, but both of their cars were totaled. I guess they hit head on.
Oh my gosh, that's lucky.
Yeah.
How do you total your
Total your
car
car and not have a scratch?
That's
right?
a miracle. Wow.
I'll just continue on with local with the same. It's very similar. There was stories about this storm because it's one of the biggest that's to cover the East Coast within years. It was carrying a packet of freezing rain, heavy snow, and ferocious wind gusts. It paralyzed most of the East Coast on Monday, sending dozens of cars into ditches, grounding hundreds of flights, and closing schools for millions of kids. The devastating effects of the storm were seen up and down the East Coast. A crash caused a 15-mile traffic jam in North Carolina, forcing police and the Red Cross to go car to car to check on stranded drivers. The storm was blamed for 350 crashes in New Jersey and in Maryland. Officials counted about 50 cars in the ditch on one stretch of one highway.
Wow.
So yeah, one of the biggest storms. Also in setting records, just an example, in North Carolina, Raleigh got more than 3 inches of snow. The March snowfall for the city only exceeded 3 inches 11 times in the past 122 years. So this is something historic, big storm.
Global warming at work, my friends.
Yeah, it was
definitely
fun. I was saying, because around here it didn't really do anything all February. And I kept saying, as soon as March hits, we'll have something.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like too bad around here, but I mean, if there was all these accidents, and
Yeah.
I think it was worse in other places.
Yeah, it covered most of the East Coast. So, you know, places like North Carolina, it was not used to the snow. They got it kind of, I guess, the worst because they're not used to so much snow in New York and New Jersey and everything. 950 flights were canceled during the airport on the East Coast, so it kind of put the city, you know, the whole East Coast in a standstill.
No, I was just gonna say we're so lucky in this area. You know, Lindsay was saying we didn't really, you know, realize how bad it was. But when you think about it, you know, Albany County, Schenectady County, we have really good highway department help. You know, they're constantly plowing the roads, constantly salting the roads. You know, like I spent 2 years in high school living in the Adirondack Mountains because I went to school in a really small town that my family has a summer house in, and the demographic of there is so different. Like they have one plow, and it's just like, you know, the snowfall is so much greater, and they like the roads are worse.
It's weird how that works out where there's more snow, there's not as much cold.
Exactly, I know. Like it was so dangerous to drive. Like people did not drive if there was, you know, a snowstorm. Here, we're lucky. You know, we can still get to work. You know. But
Yeah, I don't know what I would do without those plows. If it like does a flurry, I'm like scared to go out.
Yeah. All right. In other local news, Lindsay, you were talking about the River Rats bus that crashed on February 9th, I believe. I think it was February 9th. But the bus driver has actually been ticketed, and his name is Stanley Novak. He's from Glenmont, New York, which isn't too far from here. And he was ticketed for driving too fast in snowy conditions, which caused the bus to crash in the first place. And that happened on the Massachusetts Turnpike, and a lot of the players were injured, and the coach was actually severely injured, and he was sent to the hospital. But he's doing fine now. But the moving violation issued to Mr. Novak was for negligible operation, and he could carry a $50 fine. So I hope he learns his lesson, because we love our River Rats.
All right, well, we'll move on to national news now. Something sort of interesting. In Kettering, Ohio, a woman has been pulled over for breastfeeding her baby. This has become a big commotion because she's fighting the tickets. The actual ticket is for not having the child in a seatbelt. And she may also be facing charges of child endangerment. So the charge isn't for her actually breastfeeding the child in the car, it's for the child not being in the seatbelt. So she's fighting this, saying, you know, that her child was really anxious and fussy and she couldn't do anything about it and she didn't have time to pull over. And apparently the cop didn't even witness this happening. It was someone else that witnessed it and called it in. So I can understand for that reason why she would be fighting it, because they really, other than this person, they don't have any proof that she was doing it, but she's admitting it. She just is fighting it.
Yeah. I don't know. I would have pulled over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't
once
think that I
with
would've.
the baby in one hand.
Right,
Right.
that would be a little difficult.
Yeah. Unless you're like really skilled.
Yeah. I think I would wait no matter how much my child was crying.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you're driving and you have your breasts out, and people who are driving by, you think the person who saw and recorded it, they have a visual of what you're doing. And I mean, I think the smart idea would just be to pull over. You can't be in that much.
And then it was kind of funny. I actually saw this story on the news last night, and while they were interviewing her, she started breastfeeding her child.
What is up with these people?
So she has no shame.
Wow.
Good that she's comfortable with her body.
Yeah.
Well, the baby will never be hungry. I can guarantee that. No matter where she is,
Yeah,
she's
that
gonna
child
make
will
sure
go
he eats.
one star.
I'm going to continue on national news. A little bit of a change of pace. In Rockland, New Jersey, a mother logged into her daughter's account, her 15-year-old daughter's account, and found some interesting messages to a 24-year-old man named William Amboy. Apparently the messages to her daughter were very explicit. They were having sexual messages, basically. The predator, in short, basically was saying what he wanted to do to her daughter. And she logged into her account and she posed as her daughter, so she was responding, she was being, pretending as if she was her daughter. And she saw all of the messages, and it got to the point where she actually visualized him masturbating on his webcam. So it got really vulgar, and she said it got to the point where she was close to throwing up, and it was sickening. So in short, she ended up trying to meet with the predator. Well, the predator actually offered to meet them at a local motel, and she met with the predator, scheduled a meeting rather, and had authorities meet with the guy, and of course he was apprehended on the scene, trying to, meet up with a 15-year-old girl.
Right.
Oh, that's sick.
Horrible.
Yeah, that's...
All that stuff that goes on is horrible. Did it say how they met?
Through an online site, I don't know which one, Facebook.
Oh, you have to be careful.
Yeah, you really have to be careful.
What's 15? How old is she? 15?
Yeah, 15.
15-year-old girls should not be on Facebook. Facebook is for college and adults. She should be on MySpace.
Yeah.
So, that's A. B?
That's much safer, guys. MySpace is much safer.
Right.
No, but seriously, this does go to show, how serious sometimes this online stuff can be, meeting up with people. I don't know. I'm not sure if she knew that he was 24 years old, but sure, you never know who's on the other side of the computer.
And it's one of those, like, oh, it will never happen to me type
Yeah,
things, but
yeah.
it very well could.
Yeah.
You never know. Just be super careful. Oh, on a happier note, Britney Spears is kicking off her circus tour today. Near her home, it's going to start off in New Orleans, and she's actually performing alongside the Pussycat Dolls, which should be entertaining. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah. She released her circus tour set list this week, and highlights include new and old songs. So some highlights: Circus, Piece of Me, Toxic, and Baby One More Time. So it's kind of like, this is like her revamping of her career. So
Good for her.
Yeah, I have a lot of faith in her. I think she'll flip out and, be like, yeah, I'm back, guys,
No more
So,
Federline, so.
yeah, no Federline. She's a new woman.
And
Free.
did you hear? I know she was trying to make some deal that she could bring her sons with her on the tour, otherwise she wasn't going to do it. So
I think so.
She
She must have worked that out because she's touring straight. I was looking at the schedule. She's gone until the middle of June.
Oh wow, is she coming anywhere around here?
Yeah, actually, I wrote down. She's going to be in Newark, New Jersey, March 14th at the Prudential Center, and tickets are still available. So if if anyone out there is really a diehard Britney Spears fan, I know one of my friends is, and
Yeah, one of mine too.
you know, so
Well, now all the issues have been figured out with Ticketmaster too, so you shouldn't be getting
Oh, yeah.
overcharged
Story
for
about
those Britney tickets.
say I would totally go to a Britney Spears concert, but
It would be so fun.
Yeah.
I wish she was coming to Albany.
I know it's surprising because we have the Times Union Center right here, and it's all revamped and beautiful. So, but I guess we're not good enough for Britney. I don't know.
We used to be.
Yeah, we used to be. I think I remember in 3rd grade she had her Baby One More Time tour, and
Yeah.
she came.
I went to one at like Proctor's or something.
Oh,
I was
no
tiny and it
way.
wasn't even sold out.
Wow, that was probably when she was just
That
starting.
was like her first tour.
Yeah.
Did they say why they call it the circus tour?
Well, that's just the name of her album is Circus.
Oh, okay.
And her new
So
single's out, the circus song.
yeah, I'm sure you've heard it, Kevin. Please say you have.
We can break out in
Yeah,
it.
we did. All as a means, just like a circus. You've never heard that song?
Sorry.
Kevin, what rock have you been living on?
Sorry. I
Turn the
should've
radio
been
on.
spared.
Seriously. Well, you
Too
must
bad
have.
we can't roll it at the end of like
I know,
credits.
credits.
and
It'll
play
be
it.
our opening song. You have heard of Chris Brown, though, right?
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay, good. So let's talk about Chris Brown.
Of course, we have some Chris Brown news
Oh,
every week.
we never go without Chris Brown news in
There's
the
always
show.
updates,
I
yeah.
know. Yeah, newsflash. So apparently, photos were found of him on a jet ski, playing around, flexing his muscles, showing off those guns, having a great time and playing in the waves. But hello, he just beat up his girlfriend. So what are you doing out having fun? Like, this is not the kind of image he wants to be posing, 2 weeks after he allegedly, had a domestic dispute with his girl. So, what do you guys think about this? Like, should
Well,
he be...
I've heard that they're actually back together now in one of like P. Diddy's house mansions or something, and that she's forgiven him, and apparently her family's upset about it. They want her to take more time to think about it. Lots of people are upset about it because they feel like she could have really made something positive out of this negative situation and really like stood up for women and violence, but
Right.
but she's not.
I could see that, like, maybe starting like a domestic violence campaign.
Mhm.
But apparently, like, there's no real news. Like you said, like, he apologized. Her family isn't exactly ecstatic about the situation, but I guess her birthday was last week, and Brown reportedly, reached out, and they're mutually talking now. So apparently, like, they're on level ground. They're at understanding, but still, like you said, she could have made something
Really started some huge campaign or
influential,
something.
yeah.
And I know they haven't really been able to charge him with any, like, as far
Yeah,
as it going through, because she's not, giving any
Right,
information.
Yeah.
So I don't really think too much. I mean, it might damage his career because the public eye now knows about this. But as
Oh, it
far
already
as,
has.
Yeah, as far as him being arrested or anything, I don't think that anything's really going to happen with
Yeah,
that.
I think the last thing I heard was she decided not to press charges. So basically, he's going to be free. I mean, even though he just beat up his girlfriend a few weeks ago, I don't understand what, people will want him to do, hide out or whatever. Of course, he's going to have his fun. I don't know why that, it's such a big thing just because he went jet
And I
skiing.
suppose anyone that happened to, if they weren't famous, they'd still be
Yeah.
smiling and
Still-
coming out, but
yeah.
people wouldn't be there to take their
Yeah.
picture. So.
I think the big deal with this was just that, it did happen, only like a week and a half, 2 weeks
Mhm.
ago. And then these are the first pictures of him released,
Right.
kind of, official pictures. So it was kind of like controversial in the sense that, he should be more subdued and, oh, I know what I did was wrong, instead of
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's jet ski, like, I don't know. So, I
Jet
don't
skiing's
know.
fun.
Well, we'll keep you updated on Chris Brown.
I'm
We
sure,
always talk
yes.
about him.
We'll have
Yeah.
more.
There'll be something next week, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. In other entertainment news, Tyler Perry's Medea Goes to Jail is still holding #1 slots in the box office. So I know Kevin's said, it's his favorite movie. So.
Right now it is.
Yeah.
I did see that movie. It was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I heard it's funny. It must be if it's racking in over $60 million. So I don't know. And that was going against the Jonas Brothers 3D movie tour or whatever. You know more about that, don't you, Kevin?
Yeah, apparently, well, the Jonas Brothers, it was the Teen Idols, of course. They had a 3D, it's called a 3D concert experience. It came in at #2, estimating a 3-day sale of about $12.7 million. The studio hoped, however, for at least $15 million, which itself held against wild industry forecasters that reached as high as $25 million. So it made much less than it was supposed to, estimated about $25 million. They 12.7 million. Again. So again, Tyler Perry capping it off #1 again for the second straight week. The comedy about the tough talking old lady earned $16.5 million, taking in a 10-day total of $64.9 million. It's the biggest of the 6 movies by the filmmaker Tyler Perry since his first one, which was released February 2005. Perry is the one who plays Medea. He also plays other characters during the show, and he's always the one featured in all of his films. So, again,
What other movies did he make? I don't think I've seen it.
Like
Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
I was watching that the other day.
I can't remember all of it. I know he released, it says 6 since 2005, so
They're all
I'm not
comedies.
sure. Yeah, they're all comedies with Medea in them. It's about a fast-talking old lady who's really like really active, really like.
Kind of reminds me of like the Nutty Professor type thing.
Yeah, kind of like that where he dresses up as an old lady. The character is pretty funny.
When I saw the previews for this, like obviously I haven't seen the movie myself yet, but when I saw the previews, it kind of reminded me of that old movie. I think it came out in like 2000, 2001, with Big Mama's House.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
I
was
love
funny
that
too.
movie. It's so funny. So I don't know, it just kind of reminded me.
I actually was watching that over the break. It's a pretty funny movie, but
So funny.
yeah. But rounding in the top 3 was Slumdog Millionaire, of course the big winner at the Grammys recently. It earned about $12.2 million. That's the biggest haul since the best picture winner in the last 10 years.
Awesome. Lots of good movies out there right now.
Yeah. So.
Okay, well here's an interesting story to say the least. In Farmington, New Mexico, a man was going to propose to his girlfriend. This happened last Tuesday night, so a week ago from today exactly. The man's name was Reed Harris, and he planned to propose to his girlfriend after they got out of a class that they were taking together. So they went to Wendy's with a group of friends, and the group of friends knew that he was going to propose. He was putting the engagement ring in a Frosty drink so she could find it. So her friends were like recording it on their cell phones and trying to rush her because they knew what was going to happen. They were so eager. So they challenged her to a Frosty drinking competition. And the girl's name is Caitlin Whipple. So she took them up on this competition and finished her Frosty and swallowed the ring. And apparently her boyfriend was checking all of the cups and like, oh my god, and then told her that she swallowed her engagement ring, which she didn't believe until they had gone to the hospital and got x-rays taken, and she saw the picture of the ring inside of her.
Wow.
And apparently he got down on one knee with the picture of the x-ray and proposed to her.
Sweet.
So cute.
What's the great thing? That's
What's
a
the
story.
great thing? I know, I was like, that's such a good engagement story. So they have a picture of it too, one of their friends took, and she has a blog online, so she was posting this. And then last Thursday morning, she posted a new blog that the ring had arrived. Ew, she said she's never been.
Wow.
There's a quote here. Let's see.
Arrived like
It arrived this morning, and I have never been so excited about my bodily functions. She posted that along with a picture of her with prunes and high fiber cereal. So I don't know if I would have posted that, but apparently the story was picked up by a TV station in Salt Lake City, a local news show, and then it was picked up by the Today Show. She got a call from NBC one morning, so I think it was yesterday morning that show was on the Today Show.
Wow.
I don't know if I would have really wanted to go on there.
Right,
She
yeah.
said she had the ring cleaned and I would feel
hope
a little
so.
funny about that,
Yeah,
but
that's-
yes,
My
Kevin said-
imagination is wondering right
Definitely
now
not
how
really gonna
exactly
do
she got that ring.
Yeah, how was she like?
Was it in the piece or just...
Okay, Kevin. All right.
I mean, I'm really curious.
She
about
lied.
Was she like searching? Like,
I think I would imagine so. I mean,
don't
who
know.
else would you?
I want to know
wanted to
how
see
you
that.
swallow a ring and you don't gag.
And then
Yeah.
Reed Harris was her, the guy that was proposing, and he is defending himself, saying the ring isn't that
I was
small.
gonna say it must not have been that much of a ring if she could swallow it.
So yeah, apparently she like just like wolfed this frosty down. She had like a spoon and like she said there was no way she was gonna let her friends win this competition. So she just like gulped it down and swallowed the ring. I think I would have been able to feel that.
Yeah,
Personally.
I would want to feel it. I mean,
She probably was in the heat of the moment, you know,
Yeah.
the competition. You don't
Maybe her
lose,
throat was
so.
like numb because it's simple.
I don't know. Well, glad she got her ring back.
yeah, good for her. Whatever it takes, man. Anyways, on a more professional note, Apple came out with its new 17-inch MacBook, which I want one. They're so beautiful. But it's the MacBook Pro. It came out this past week, and it's boasting that it's the most powerful notebook ever. Has 8 hours of battery life, which is like unheard of in the computer world.
Mine has like
Amazing.
2.
I know. Mine is like 10 minutes. Plugged in. So basically, it has a high resolution screen. Obviously 17 inches wide, which is great for watching movies and doing homework. Facebook.
Doing homework.
Less than an inch thin, and it only weighs 6.6 pounds. And it's the same price as the previous model, so it's not, you know, going up in price.
That's amazing that they didn't raise
Yeah.
the price. Maybe
Yeah.
they figured the economy is so bad they would just keep it and get
Yeah.
more people to buy it that way.
Yeah, I actually saw the commercial for that. It's a pretty nice computer.
Yeah.
My friend has the thin one. Is that the same
Oh,
one?
the MacBook Air?
Yeah, the one that goes in the notebook.
That's
I mean,
It's like
in the envelope.
Yeah. I love
Those
that.
are so light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're so.
I think it's the one that they have that's like the touch screen. That looks
Yeah.
cool. I mean, I don't think you would really need it, but it's just sort of like
It's
it would be a
cool.
cool
It's
thing to
touch.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just double click on my internet. Yeah, but this retails at about $2,800. So yeah, it breaks the bank, but you can say that you have a cool computer. So. And that's
Will last a long time.
oh yeah, I have a Mac, and my dad bought it for me like the Christmas of my first year in high school, and it's still going strong. But like I said, it's the battery life obviously has diminished.
I think that's what happened with mine too. It just sort of slowly, like less and less time.
Yeah.
I was on a bus trip a couple weeks ago. There was a girl on there watching a movie on her laptop. I'm like, I'm so jealous. I can't do that on mine anymore. Mine like dies after a half hour.
I can't even take my computer to class unless I sit next to like an outlet. I feel so ghetto just sitting in the corner like with my notebook. And everyone's like. Someone's like,
What kind of computer do you have?
I have a Mac, but it's like old. It's almost 5 years old now, so it's amazing how technology just turns over.
Yeah, it's so fast.
No
5
time.
years, you wouldn't think that's too long, but
Yeah.
computer world, that's like forever.
Yeah.
After 1 year, battery life is like
Yeah.
2 hours, 8 hours.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because I have the equivalent of this new computer, but it's like I said, it's 5 years old. But if you put them side by side, you would not even guess that they were made by the same company.
No way.
That's how mine is. I bought mine about like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like so outdated now. Guess it's time for a new one.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, maybe you should look into this MacBook Pro if you have that
Yeah.
expendable fundage, which I wish I had.
8 hours. That's,
Yeah, that'd be worth it. I don't know. Especially for people who travel. I'm thinking business people. Watch the movies.
Alright, well I have one more quick story before we wrap up here. There was a man in Nebraska who stuffed his cat in his bong while he was smoking. And the cat was rescued. It was 6 months old and his name was Shadow, and it was rescued, I guess, by police. I mean, I can't imagine. Maybe he called the police then because it got stuck in there or something. They described the cat as dazed when they rescued it. This man's facing charges, of course, and a $400 fine, and the cat is now with the Humane Society. It's been taken away from the man, thank God.
So he lost his cat over this?
Well, the cat didn't die.
No, I mean he lost it because
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I refuse to
Here's your cat back. Just don't do it again.
You gotta know how to do it.
Don't talk with your cat anymore.
At first I thought they were going to say he didn't get any charges, but he said the cat was like really, anxious and he was trying to calm it down.
Yeah.
So,
There's
I guess
ways
it
to
worked
do
if the
that.
cat was dazed when he,
Days. I'm sure the cat
was
appreciated
rescued.
Yeah.
Alrighty, all about the love there.
I think that's all the time we have for this one, though, guys. But
Yeah.
thank you so
Have a
much
good
for
day.
watching. Have a great
Have a
day.
good one.